Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It is Jeff Cook, and I am joined by my head chef, who's had a good few weeks off.
A very good few weeks.
And now she's ready to go again. She was missing all of you guys. Felt very cheated on because everyone else was having a crack in the kitchen.
I was in the background.
And she was looking after the kids, barefoot in the kitchen, looking after the kids. And that's as far as we go. So, Thai green curry tonight, which is one of your favorites.
Any curry is my favorite, really.
Greg loves a little curry, a little Thai, or a little Indian, or a little bit of anything. And this one is nice and pretty easy, loads of flavor. A lot of these ingredients you might have used if you're cooking with us. Cheney and I were doing a dish last Wednesday. So a lot of similar ingredients. So hopefully you could just carry it over to this week. But a lot of aromatics and nice sort of flavors and smells and things. It's all prepped here under my nose, so it smells quite good. The ginger and the chili and all sorts, and the soy sauce, which always just makes you kind of hungry, just like that.
Very much so.
But what's important tonight is that we are doing a Thai green curry that doesn't come from a packet or a jar. So the easiest thing often is just to whip open a little packet of salmon. That's your Thai green sauce. But I'm going to show you how to do your own. The paste. Yeah. So essentially we're making the paste. So Gia doesn't know it yet, but she's going to be going in the pestle and mortar for a while. But you can also fast forward it and just do it in a blender. The traditional way is in a pestle and mortar, you crush it, and the flavors apparently are a little bit different. I don't know. So if you want to just stick it into your NutriBullet or your blender, that's fine. We've got the pestle and mortar out here because Ria didn't do her workout today, so she's going to have to do a pestle and mortar session.
I'm feeling a bit sick.
You can hear us both a little bit, a little nasal.
Yeah.
You went for your COVID, eh?
I actually did go for a COVID test because I felt bad going back to the office, sounding all, yeah. And
it's not COVID.
It's not COVID.
So we're all right.
I've got a winter cold.
And everyone's got it. The family's got it. Harry's all right. Izzy's full of complaints. How is everybody doing? Swipe in, check in, let us know that you're here. We've hopefully got a whole lot of week one challenges with us. So there's some people.
Sorry.
You might have lost me. Gria's having a tech mare here. So for some of you, it might be a first time doing a little cook. Let us know.
Is there anyone from my group?
From the Gold Diggers, which was a very apt name that the sister-in-law came up with. To be honest, I got put on their group. I don't know if it was by mistake or anything, but that was going to be the name suggestion I put in there before Kim jumped in the bandwagon. So the Gold Diggers, Gria is one of them, and her two sisters, and there are a couple. Who else is in the group?
Katie, my friend,
Katie,
and then two lovely ladies.
Beautiful. So if you're in a challenge, how's it going? If this is your first cook, let us know. Deline, it's been a while since you swiped in. Glad you're having a get. What? Glad? You've got load shedding. You've got LS.
Gas stove.
Gas stove, totally. So our power's going off at 8. So at least we've got a few hours of light. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do this. You'd see the flame on the stove, and that's about it, because it'd be very dark. Adele, how's it going? Cindy DeVere, looking forward to this recipe. Who likes a little bit of Thai? We did a beet takeout Thai a few weeks, or it was maybe a couple months ago. It was one of our most watched ones. Everyone loves a little bit of Thai.
Yeah, all the flavors. What's not to love?
Lauren loves a good curry. Lauren, you still doing it with tofu? You said you were going to give it a crack with tofu. So I gave you a few different options for the protein source: chicken, tofu, fish. Could do anything. You can play around with different things. There's Izzy. Say hello. She wants her apron as well. Deline says get better to the family. Thank you very much. Sarah Jane, hello. Google, how's it going? Max, cooking in the dark in Kirstenhof. the challenges Eskom likes to throw at us. But well done. I think a couple of our cooks over the next few weeks, we're doing a few bush-themed ones to tie in with the Big 5 challenge and the Kruger Park challenge, and that's all done in the dark. So it might be very apt for the next few weeks. There we go. Darlene is the Kruger Cougars, so you're on the Kruger Park challenge.
That's an awesome name.
Did I tell you who won the name competition on mine? So there's the accountability group that won the naming competition in my challenge is called Lettuce Turnip the Beats, which actually cracked me up.
Literally, it speaks to every part of you.
Every part of me.
You and your mother. I hope Dad's watching. And
she'd appreciate that one. Renata, good evening. Taryn, looking forward to this as well. It's going to warm us up, which is great. Keshel, how's it going? Chrisma, you're a newbie. Thanks for joining us. My mother is watching, so she'll enjoy the multiple levels of wordplay on that team name. Joy, you got fresh curry leaves. What do I do with them? You add them to any curry, so they don't really go so much on the Thai side of things, but any curry, when you're frying off the spices and the onions up front, you get your curry leaves in there. They add a lovely depth of flavor to it. Chuck it in tonight if you want to, not a problem. But sort of your Indian, Sri Lankan options are pretty good for that. We actually went on honeymoon to Sri Lanka, and I think most mornings Griya had this Sri Lankan omelette for breakfast that had some fried curry leaves, and then you do the omelettes on that, and that's a winner, Joy. You get some lovely flavors in there, a couple tomatoes and onions, and you've got a nice little spicy breakfast. So there's a winter warmer for you. Debbie is here for a delicious Bod Squad. I like that name as well. Candace, another first challenge. Lovely. Thanks for joining us. Joy, you swiping in for the fabulous 50s group. Beautiful. Can't buy experience, Joy. Olga.
Hello, Olga.
I told you she said she was missing. Yeah.
I know.
Ava, good evening and cheers to you. Hope you are enjoying your little tot of whiskey tonight. Nicole, good evening. Lisa, I'll tell Izzy she says you say hi. Jenny, first live cook along, week 1 of the Big 5 challenge on the one-on-one. Beautiful. Also, Delene, you're also on there. Brilliant. The Gold Busters. So you're in so Chrisma and her team. It's going for gold challenge. Cool. Everyone's looking pretty good. I saw Sam, after you made your appearance on Zumba, which was so fantastic. Should we move over so you're not behind the ingredient list there?
Sam, that was really...
It was magic.
It was
amazing. I really want to see
you and
Sam and Jono do it again. Sam has had a cook. Yeah, it should be compulsory. Sam has had a cook from the cameraman side, when his very talented wife has done a couple for us. I think we need to get Sam into the kitchen as well. How about it? Shelley swiping in for Clinton, the Golden Hearts, I'm going to go with. Beverly, good evening. Charmaine, how's it? Noel, you started earlier, but let's watch now and see how you do it. It's probably exactly the same way you did, Noel, so let us know how it tastes. Hopefully it is delicious. The flexible flamingos, the rest of it. These names are just classic.
No, they're great.
Shani, hi guys. Nene swiping in for Jethro's Battle Cats. Yes, it's on the Big 5 challenge. Michelle's here for Bronny's Big 5 Belters. Nice. Giddy James for Keep Palm and Jeff on. You'll still be on the Island Challenge, obviously. There we go. So, took a while for that one too. It's been one of those kind of Mondays. It's just a long Monday.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. That's how long it has been.
I thought you were making a joke.
Cool. So, Chessa doing this meal this weekend is just having you're having your chickpea curry. Griya made that last night actually, and I had a lovely little chickpea curry left over for lunch, which was great. So, Quickly, let's go through the ingredients. A little recap. If you get a little bit of prep done, that's cool. Just a little bit of slicing and dicing. So you'll see them over here. We can take away the little ingredients names now so that you can see it all. It is a green curry because so much of this is green. How magic is that? So loads of good nutrition going on here. We're making the paste with pretty much everything there. So you can just, there's flavor, there's loads going on there. There's a good, so this is for 2 people, so everything's doubled off the recipe that you would have seen. Half cup of coriander, nicely finely chopped. Spring onion, finely diced. We've got some garlic, we've got some chili, and we've got some ginger. Okay, so you can see them all there, nice full aromatics. That's with your lemon juice, lemons over there, and the olive oil is going to go into the pestle and mortar or your blender, and just going to get going on that to make a nice paste out of it. We've got some veg. Now you can play around with different veg that you go into, but the Thai green curry, these kinds of things work. So some manju, some baby marrows, some baby corn, that's just going to go in right at the end. We've got some other veg kicking around the fridge, chuck it in, it's fine. No one's going to worry. You can either do some cauli rice to serve it. Do you want cauli rice? Or normal rice? I'm going to do some normal rice for me, so I'm going to stick that in the Instant Pot in a second. And those are the main sort of veg-based ingredients. Whatever your protein is, I've got some lovely little chicken drumstick fillets. You can use tofu, you can use some fish, you can use some chickpeas, you can use some edamame beans because they're still green as well, so there's loads of green going on. Any source of protein will work nice here. You're just going to get the flavor from everything. I've got 200 mils of coconut milk, reduced fat one, just to keep it nice and light. I've got about 150 mils of chicken stock. Most of the fat for the meal is going to come from the sauce, the paste that we make, because the olive oil is going to go in there. If you want a little bit more, that's fine. You can get some cashews, and here's a nice little trick for when you want to add some good nutrition to thickening up something. You just grind those up, and you can pop them into your sauce or your stew or your curry or whatever it is, and they're just going to help thicken it a little bit. So if you need a little bit of extra energy and flavor, you can pop in some ground cashews. They're not ground yet, they will be. You're going to flavor it with a little bit of soy sauce towards the end, and that is all the ingredients. Easy. Loads of flavor, loads of color, super simple. We're going to start with getting our grind on with the pestle and mortar. So, you're going to do it. Just do it on here. Or I can move that in front of you if you want. See, it's been a while. We haven't danced together in the kitchen, so there's lots of left feet and things going on here. So, either stick it into your blender, or if you're going to do it pestle and mortar, you want a little bit of a forearm workout. Literally, your aromatics are going in there. So we're going to put the coriander in. My pestle and mortar might even be a little bit small. We've got so much goodness going in here. The ginger, the spring onion, the garlic, and the chili. Just adjust your chili off kind of the heat that you want. So if you want the flavor, take the seeds out. If you want a little bit of heat, put the seeds in. You can always add more. You can't take it out. So it just depends how spicy you want it. Okay, and then the juice of 2 lemons going to go in there. So it's coriander, the spring onion, the garlic, the ginger, and the lemon juice. And we're going to start grinding that and then add oil just little by little until it forms a nice paste and your forearm burns. And this also means that you're burning more calories making dinner, so you get away with eating it. How's that for a win-win? Okay. There we go. So we're just going to start grinding. If you want to do it in 5 seconds, stick it into your blender with the oil, blitz it up, and then you can go from there. Okay, it smells lovely already. As soon as that lemon juice kind of hits the the aromatics, everything sort of starts to come out a little bit. Smells nice. It's one of the nice things about actually doing it in the pestle and mortar is you smell it, you start to think about dinner, you start getting quite excited about it, you start getting a little bit more hungry as well if you haven't eaten for a while. Charmaine and Ireland, how's it going? Let's scroll down here and see if any comments came in while I was talking rubbish. David, good evening for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So you guys, you see, Greer's going to be disappointed here because I had a call in who's there in my challenge. If Greer had to decide, you definitely would have won. She's a massive Chili Peppers fan. So David, you and the crew were in a very close second place. It was a great night. I think what got it is the lettuce turnip the beets found like a t-shirt and all sorts of things. So they just got stuck in. Lauren, from Great Britain, I assume, the GB, how's it going? Mandy, good evening.
Hello, Mandy.
Mandy. There's another Red Hot Chili Peppers, Sally's pulling in as well. Julie's going to make us meal tomorrow in the middle of load shedding. So what you can do is, if you want to, you can start grinding, or if you've got a pestle and mortar while load shedding's out. So we're being energy efficient here. We don't require any electricity at the moment to make our paste. Let's add a little bit of oil for you.
Well, we won't require anything for the meal either.
Yeah, we're actually going to go on gas. Yeah.
In the Instapot.
So just add it tablespoon by tablespoon olive oil. So add 1 tablespoon now if you're doing it the mechanical way, and just keep grinding. And while Greer does that, I'm going to stick my rice on. So if you're doing any rice to serve, get that going. In the Instant Pot magic, same volume rice, same volume water. Hit the rice button, you're done. So let me just stick that in quick. And a little bit of salt, make sure you season it.
Yeah, let's see. See chili in here. What you got there is? Unicorn.
Okay, so that's on the go. If you're doing collie rice, you're going to do that right at the end. You can just grate it and stick it aside so long. Collie rice going to cook super quickly, so once everything's done, you can just get a pan out, quickly flash fry it. It will be ready to go. And if you want to do it, you could do it with noodles if you wanted to, or something else would work fine. I'm going to do mine with some lovely rice, and Grubs will have some collie rice later. All right, we hope you'll pick up some tips.
Is it supposed to look like it does in the bag?
No.
Okay, good.
Because they put theirs in the bag into a blender. Ours is going to have more texture. Just lovely. Okay. There we go. Should have started your fitness watch to see how many calories it takes to make Thai green paste.
Well, listen, I'm nervous for my workout tomorrow because now I'm going to do the one today tomorrow. And
catch up. Everyone said it was a good. Who did the Go for Gold workout today?
Oh my goodness.
Looked pretty good.
My teammates said it was very hard.
Is that the one with the wall squat? Holding.
I don't know, I've done it.
Bronwyn is joining for the Coastbusters, busy traveling around the island with Jules. You guys are heading towards the home straight on the 45-day challenge, which has been amazing. All right. So you might just need to put a little bit of extra into your pestle and mortar. For those of you that went the blender route, that will be done. Now you've got some toes in your picture as well. You've got to Those are going to go into the frying pan, you see. Okay, so that's what it kind of looks like when you go this way. So it's not going to be the kind of, depends how small you chopped it up front. But what you get out of a bag or a jar or something is obviously very, very smooth. You can blend it, and if you stuck yours in the NutriBullet or the blender, that's what's happened. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with that. A little bit of oil in the pan. We're going to start frying that just to get the flavors going. And then we're going to add the chicken, the liquid, and the veg. And we'll pretty much be done after that. Super simple. Huh?
The other camera here.
No, in a second, yeah. Okay. Your toes are going out of shot, is he? Okay. Yeah. So just over a medium heat, there's a little bit of oil in the pan there, and we're going to put the paste into the pan. Not too hot, you don't want to burn anything, you just want to get a little bit of heat going through that. Okay. And your kitchen should start smelling beautiful. Right. Jared is having a little Shannon tonight. That would go quite well with this. Those are some cashew nuts, my love. Okay. That's chicken, you mustn't touch it, it's raw. Mildred, you here because you're told there would be Thai food. Lovely. There's Thai food. That's what we're doing. Hopefully you are putting it on your plate. Sharon, you don't eat coriander. Can I replace it with parsley? You can. I'll give it quite a different flavor. Basil might be another option as well. Is he? Shush, my lovey. Shush. So you could try it. Just depends on the flavor that you want. So that characteristic Thai green curry is coriander essentially. You could do it with basil. Maybe do a little combo of greens if you want to. And you can play around with it that way. Mandy taking a shortcut, put it in the blender. Mandy, come on.
I'm disappointed, Mandy.
Expected more. Expected a little forearm workout there. Shelly.
Looking incredible. Her results have been amazing.
Cheers. So Mandy was a journeyman, one-on-one challenge, been through a couple things, and absolutely amazing progress. Mandy's looking amazing at the moment. Running out of hands. If you need a hand. Christmas, did you also use the blender? Natalie, you don't have to use the nuts at all. It's going to be quite thick, and we're not adding a lot of liquids. You can just cook the liquid off instead of trying to thicken it. So if you want to just leave the nuts out entirely, that's fine. All right, you can just cook the sauce a little bit longer to get it slightly thicker. Shani, the paste, could this be prepped in advance? Totally. So if you made this, you could stick it in the fridge for a week. There's nothing in there that's kind of going to go off or anything. You could also marinate, use this as a great marinade. So the chicken that we're going to put in here, if you're doing tofu, if you actually did it the day in advance and you put that into the sauce, that'd be fantastic. You're going to soak up all that flavor, and then you can fry it off up front here. And you're going to get better kind of flavor through the protein that's in the dish. So do it in advance if you want. Marinate it the day before. Or if you just want to make a nice big batch of the paste, it'll last at least a week in the fridge. Or what you could do is freeze it into little ice cube size cubes, and you could just pop them out whenever you wanted to add a little nice flavor to something. Another way to meal prep it. Tracy, busy prepping, missed the time. Let me know if you need a little recap. I'll give you a recap shortly. Joy also asking about the nuts. Just leave them out. It's not a problem. The mighty meerkats, I like that. On the Big 5 challenge. For the team load shedding. Brilliant. Yes, we've got to let us turn up the beats here with Natalie. Love it. Cool. All right, so quick recap. We made the paste. That's what's busy just frying under a sort of medium heat behind us. And what went into there was the finely chopped coriander, so about a quarter cup per person that you're making for. Then a clove of garlic per person. There was about a thumb of ginger. There was half a chili per person with or without seeds, depending on your heat. One small spring onion per person, that was chopped up as well. Juice of half a lemon. And then 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil, depending on how many people you're kind of making for. Grind it up, put it in a blender, whichever way you're going to go, and just get it on some heat. Whatever your protein is, pop that in now. So I'm just going to, these are beautiful drumstick chicken fillets. I'm just going to cut them a little bit smaller. I had a client asking me this week about chicken breasts versus using thighs or thighs instead, because thighs you get so much nicer flavor. It's a darker meat. It doesn't dry out as easily. It's still nice and lean, which is great. So you get a lot of flavor, which is super. And Woolies also do the filleted drumsticks now, which is a little cheaper than a thigh meat. Because thigh meat, it's got quite expensive. So use those. I quite like using them for stews or curries. They cook a little bit longer, but they're just a lot more tender at the end of it, so it's harder to overcook them. Okay, so I just chopped them up so they're a little bit smaller, about that size. If you're doing tofu, cube them up. If you're doing fish, yeah, just bang them.
That's also.
I missed some. So you can just pop your protein in. I know the recipe had us first adding the liquid, but when I was doing this now, I thought I'd rather just fry these off a little bit and get a bit of flavor onto them, and then we can add the liquid afterwards. And then, otherwise, they'll just look a little bit anemic when you serve with them. Okay, so protein in with your paste. Lovely. Turn up the heat a little bit. Cool, cool. So far, you guys with us, hopefully. Let me go back down to the bottom here. Natalie, so answer that, instead of the nuts, you can just leave them out, so you don't need them, which is fine. Sharon made it a little earlier to beat load shedding, and she says it was delicious.
Oh, good.
Tried and tested. Thank you, Sharon.
Sharon.
Lefkowitz.
Yes.
Yes.
The Tony's Transformer.
Tony's Transformer. No, it's delicious. So you were eating a chicken for hubby and tofu for me. Lovely. So what's cool about this, if you need to, and there are different sort of preferences in the house. You can do the paste. You can do 2 different proteins. You'll just have to use 2 different pans to cook them. You can put the chicken into one, put the tofu into the other, veg on, and you can serve it with either cauli rice or normal rice, depending on whether you want some carbs or not. So it gives you a nice way to sort of go. Charisma, you feel that you're missing some salt. So we're adding soy sauce towards the end, which is the main sort of seasoning here. So I specifically haven't seasoned it yet just for that. So once the soy goes in, we can taste it towards the end and just see if it needs a little bit more. You can, if you want to, just season the chicken before it goes in to get a little bit more seasoning onto that. But I'm happy to kind of hold it off to the end. Sharon did fish in half and chicken in the other half. Great. So you can also do it in bulk and meal prep for a couple meals for the week. So you could do tofu, fish, chicken, and then you've got a whole bunch. You can stick some in the freezer. You can have some for lunch tomorrow. You can play around with it. Sharon used some fish. Lindy, turn up the beat, Mandy. Love it. Have a go. Cool. Use the whole chili with the seeds and all, and it's hot. It is. So it depends on. We didn't taste our paste. But that chicken is looking good in the pan. So taste your paste, and you'll know how hot it is.
You can always add more chili. It's nice to take it out.
There's a little bit of tingling on the old taste buds, but I think that was nice. They weren't very hot chilies. It'll depend on the chili you use, essentially, how hot it's going to be. That was quite yummy. Having tasted the paste, I'd also maybe season it with a little bit of salt. So let's do that quickly. So you can put a little bit of salt in it. We're not going to add a lot of soy sauce later, so season with a bit of salt. Because there's lemon juice, we've got all the flavor in there, but it just felt kind of needed to level it out a bit. So that salt will definitely help. Olga, you've never done your own Thai paste before, so simple and tasty. Thank you. Magic. And you know what's in there. You've controlled everything. There aren't sort of funny ingredients. There's no thickness. There's no sugars. There's no unhealthy fats. It's all yours. And if you want it hotter, you can do that. If you want to tone it down, you can do that. You want to do it for the kiddies, keep the chili out. You can play around. At least you can go different ways. And you've made it all yourself. So hopefully you feel good about that. Sharon's got some for lunch tomorrow. Beautiful. You got too much liquid. What should I do? Just let it cook. Don't have a lid on. As it cooks, that liquid's just going to start evaporating, and it's going to thicken that way. So it'll be fine. You can just cook it for a little bit longer. Larissa, first time making a green curry. You normally do a red or a massaman. The green paste, it does smell amazing, doesn't it? Have a little taste of it. It'll get you looking forward to dinner. Leanne just finished eating. It was delicious. Made some for lunch tomorrow. Brilliant. Lisa also made it earlier because of load shedding and enjoying it with the family now. It's delicious. So the other thing about curries, I'm sure a lot of you will know, it always tastes better later. So if you made it like in the morning for the evening or today for tomorrow, it's going to get better and better as all those flavors kind of hang together. So we're sticking the liquid into the pan now. First is the reduced fat coconut milk. What's great about that, you get the flavor of the coconut without the sort of high fat content of regular coconut milk or coconut cream. And then our chicken stock. You want to say hello? Gogo's watching. Wait. Say hello, Gogo. Say hello, Gogo. Hello, Gogo. So curry's always going to be best when it's consumed further away from when it was made. I enjoy a massaman curry as well, actually. Trying to remember where that comment came from. Larissa, you're the one, I think. That's Leanne just finished eating it. Beautiful. Noel, you keep losing signal. Not sure if answered. The recipe said add the liquid in the chicken after. The recipe did, Noel. Sorry, I mentioned it just now. I decided I was going to switch those two steps around now, just to get a bit of color onto the protein.
It didn't really work.
Well, it did. Sort of. Doesn't really matter. But it's just nice to get a little bit of flavor and color onto your protein. So I fried it off in the paste in advance. But it's going to turn out pretty much the same either way. Greer reckons it was a waste because it still looks a bit anemic, but it's fine. So that's okay. Amanda, lovely to have you on my challenge again as well. The new nutrition challenge. Are you going to cook this another time? It looks lovely. Carla says, looks awesome, seems so easy. Can't wait to make it for the family on Sunday. Beautiful. It is so easy.
And the weather on Sunday, I think it's getting cold again. So
is it?
Perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect for a little warming of the soul. Okay. What we're going to do, if you're doing cauli rice, you might just want to grate it now if you haven't yet. We haven't. The veg, and we need to slice our veg, which I haven't sliced yet either, because that's going to go. We're literally just going to cook that down. The chicken's going to take 5 minutes to cook, so we'll just let it cook down. While it's cooking, it's going to thicken a bit. I also need to grind my cashews because I'm going to pop them in. Looking forward to that little different element that's going to add. And Greer's going to do a little bit of veg prep. So I'm going to grind the cashews just in the pestle and mortar that we were using. There's no point in doing anything else. And it'll just pick up some of those flavors anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right. So just going to crack them. You've got you can actually just do it with your knife if you want to, on a chopping board. Or you could stick them into a coffee grinder that you maybe don't use to normally grind coffee. It's a very useful tool, but then your coffee ends up tasting like anything else you've used. Okay. So those cashews are going to add a nice little nuttiness and thicken it. But if you want to keep it a little bit lighter in energy, don't add them. You've got a nut allergy, obviously don't add them. You don't need to add anything else. You can just cook it for a bit longer. Okay. So that's my little, I can show you now. Yeah. So it'll be nice because there are all sorts of different textures here. You've got the texture from the paste because it's not just a smooth pasty paste. All the veg, which is going to just be kind of par cooked so that there's still nice texture from that. You don't want mushy veg in your curry. Okay, there we go. So those nuts will go in with now. And you can stick them in now. So we'll stick them in now just to thicken a bit. And whatever veg you want, they just need to be roughly chopped. So manage to bring it back here. Okay, so I want them all sort of the same size because then they'll cook at the same rate. So they're just going to be like coin size. So we'll get some manj 2 in there. Baby marrow, just going to take the little ends off. But chop them to however you want them. It's not too serious. Loads of green going on in our Thai green curry. So that veg is the last component that's going to go and it's going to cook for a couple of minutes and then we're going to serve. I want to keep them crunchy. And they're just going to add that texture, some nice flavor. Okay, so let's bang those in. And just turn up the heat a little bit, just so it's simmering, bubbling away, and looks like this. There we go. I'm not going to show you the way Gria's cooking her collie rice.
What?
Because I wouldn't do it that way.
Why not?
So
I was going to use a big pan.
Gria's using a pot.
I was going to do it in a big pan.
You either have to wash a pan or a pot. It's the same thing. So the only problem with that is it's a fairly small space with a lot of collie on it, so it doesn't cook as quickly as you want it. So the nice thing is being able to get it all one layer on a hot pan, cook it quickly so that it fries instead of like boils and steams. So you're going to get a nice texture on it. You'll cook it much quicker that way. But if you've only got a pot lying around, or you're cooking a little bit of it, that's okay. You didn't have cashews, but you're sure it's going to be delish with smooth peanut butter all the same. So the peanut butter is also going to add a little nuttiness to it. So yeah, it will pretty much serve a similar purpose. Sharon says it's so young, quick and easy. It's quick and easy. So my rice is finished in the Instant Pot. Gria's collie rice. It's going to cook for a few more minutes now because it's in a pot that's too small for it. But that's fine. She's having it, not me. And the veg is going to take 2 minutes, and then we're going to serve.
It's not that far off.
While it's going now, just taste it as well. We're going to add our soy sauce. So that's the final level of kind of seasoning. We're going to add, for two of us, it's a tablespoon of soy sauce. And then taste, and see if you need a little bit more. There was an optional bit of brown sugar to go in there. If you want to add a little bit, that's fine. I'm not going to. Jenny, yes, we have stuck the coconut milk in already. So the coconut milk and the stock went in. We did that after the chicken, just to let it help cook. It's simmering away with that. So if it's not in yet, I assume maybe your stock's in. Just get the coconut milk in there with it, and let it cook off a little bit, just so it gets to the sort of consistency that you want. Stick your veg in. It doesn't matter if you get the steps a little bit wrong here either. At the end, it's just everything's cooking together. So the thing that's going to take the longest to cook is the chicken, then the veg. That's the main thing you want to get right. Wherever you add like the other liquids or soy sauce or whatever, it won't make too much of a difference. So that's right. So you can get away with it. There's lots of leeway on this one. Taste it. Okay, check it for seasoning. Taste. Ooh, that is pretty good. Definitely doesn't need any more salt. And the heat's bang on. That's lovely. Okay, done. We are going to plate up and serve. Just added your stock. Cool. So add your stock, add your coconut milk, let it cook off. That's going to help cook your chicken. Get your veg in there. It was very yummy actually. So much better than out of the bag.
I think this curry rice is pretty good.
Who's happy with it, curry rice? Lisa Marie says it smells yummy. Mandy says it tastes delicious. Okay, do you want to dish?
Rice.
Yours?
Yeah, I'll just do one.
Okay, ready to serve. Lovely fluffy rice in the Instant Pot. So if you're making rice, make extra. And if you didn't see the little egg fried rice dish that I stuck onto Instagram and Facebook this week, one of my favorites. So whenever we do rice for dinner, the kids love it because they love a bit of rice. And in the morning, it makes a great breakfast, a little bit of egg fried rice. So half a cup to a cup of cooked rice, 2 eggs, all the sort of flavors of what we've used tonight as well. Going to bed. Say night.
Say night night.
And good night. So I need to add a little bit more coriander from whatever didn't go in up front. And lovely. Beautiful. That is our Thai green curry. Half an hour done. Paste made ourselves, everything nice and spicy, nice and wintry. Either on a bed of rice or cauli rice, either with chicken, fish, tofu, whichever way you want to go. All of those will work, and it's brilliant. Bernadette, the cauli rice was a quick flash fry in a pan with a splash of oil. Cook really quickly, nice hot pan, quick, get a bit of colour on it, get it out. It doesn't take long at all. So there, Greer just stuck it into that pan, very quick, sprinkle of salt, and that's that. So you just grate it and stick it in there. Lisa, looks and smells divine, beautiful. Lauren, bon appetit to you as well. Carla, tasty and quick, excellent quality of meal. Well done, love it. You did a great job then. Brown when yours is still thickening but smelling delicious. Cool. Just let it cook until it's as thick as you want, and then you can pop everything together. Bernadette, it's a pleasure. Guys, hopefully that was good, quick, easy, tasty, delicious, ready to go. You might have some rice for your breakfast tomorrow, or super simple. There are two things. The other that I wanted to say, and I keep forgetting about it. I think that the coolest thing I've learned this year from one of the things that I did with one of the other chefs was grating ginger without taking the skin off. That's what we did here. We did a beautiful oats breakfast at the Western with Chef Shezray Asur, and he made a lovely rooting oats, and he just grated his ginger with skin on and everything. And I asked him about it. He says, that's the way. Just make sure it's clean, and you save yourself the hack of trying to peel ginger, which, yes, it's a hack. So I should have let you guys know up front, but if you haven't done it, next time you grate your ginger, just leave the skin on. A bit more fiber, it disappears into everything, so you won't really know about it. But it's all about small wins along the way. Olga, another winner recipe added to your collection. Beautiful. Jackie, your kitchen's fragrant and delish. Beautiful. Guys, post your pics, tag us in it. Really looking forward to seeing what it is if you're on week 1 of your challenge. So look forward to the next 2.5 weeks as we build up to our Go for Gold workout at the end of the month, which is going to be absolutely epic. If you haven't registered, got your race number. The design on that is beautiful as well. And let's see what medal you guys can work towards, bronze, silver, or gold at the end of the month. We've got a good opportunity to put some good training together for the next few weeks. Kat says it looks divine, beautiful. Candace, still cooking down a little, no problem. Always doubted being able to make the paste from scratch, but you've done it. Amazing. Tracy, tasting delicious. Guys, enjoy your dinner. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you guys all again next week. Cheers for now. Bye.